All right, these are video notes for load 659. Customer is Thomas Alexander. A couple things to show you with this layout. Customer likes the look of this staggered upper and lower. They're up against a textured ceiling. And if you can see right now, they're about a 1/4 inch or so off the ceiling in places. Some places it's touching. And you can see too where that's cracked, where that's actually the press is up. So they're wanting to keep the cabinets against the ceiling. And they're wanting to keep the moldings against the ceiling. Problem is, they originally had 42-inch cabinet next to a 30, which is a 12-inch offset, but that pushed this with this light rail down to only 15.5, 16 inches from the countertop. So to keep this look, we're wanting to go with like a 39-inch tall cabinet here, 15 inches deep, so that this molding can retire into the side of that the way it should. This cabinet then could still be a 30, or it could still be, you know, a 27, a 36. I mean, it could be whatever height you guys want to do against that. But they do like the idea of this being a 15-inch deep cabinet for the molding to die into it instead of having a return like this. Now, if you look on both sides of the window, the margin return on both sides of the window now is around 2.5 inches. And that's giving room, if you look up here, that's giving room for the molding to return and actually get in before the molding on the sides. If we went with the normal height, the height being at 54 inches, the molding would be above. So this valance on this hanging shade would actually have to be removed. But you need that 2.5 inch, 3 inch clearance right there to be able to make sure the moldings have some place to return if they keep this type of valance above the window. So on the basic layout of the kitchen, you've got the dishwasher to the right of the sink. You got the sink center in the window. Underneath here, got copper pipes that are plenty tall, but they have the old cutoff valves. And the reason this is happening, the reason they're doing this remodel is because of a water issue. We definitely want to replace these cutoff valves with new valves, either through us as Lowe's or through a company, a third-party company doing the plumbing and stuff for this. On this layout here for the actual peninsula, they're turning the cabinets, coming out further with the peninsula. There's no problem, there's plenty of room to do that. Right here, there's a 12-inch margin from the end of this door trim to the side of the cabinet. Down here, the cabinets start at about 11.5 inches, so 12 inches margin again would be fine. The reason is they want to keep the switches and stuff outside of the length of the cabinets. Come over here on this side of the room, you've got about a 7-inch margin from the edge of this molding to the edge of the paint line, which is where the light rail, the chair rail ends as well. This was a pantry at this time. Then they had the refrigerator. The pantry in this design was about 18 inches wide, but on the refrigerator opening, they only had a 36-inch opening, which that is 35 7/8. It would barely fit in there. They had to grease it up to get it to go in the opening. So they want to make sure that this has a 37-inch opening for the refrigerator to fit into. Likewise, if you go to put an M panel here, this was really tight. So we want to put a small filler, like a 1/2 inch filler here, to offset the panel over, to move the base over, to give you a little bit more room around your actual stove area, okay? Now come back here behind the stove, a couple of things to look at. This was not the original location of the stove. They moved the stove plug over to here. We give you a measurement where the center of that stove plug is, but then we give you another measurement of where the center of the actual stove is now. They don't want to change the center line of the stove opening, so that measurement's where you're going to go back with the stove and the microwave on the design. I think it's 51 inches. And if you look here, this electrical, they're going to actually bring that electrical up into this space where it was hidden behind a cabinet before. And there's a water box back here 17 inches out of the corner. That water box is going to have to come in the back of a cabinet. Then they're going to run their line across through the cabinets to the refrigerator area. Again, this was once remodeled, and then they had a water event, as they say, and then they had to remodel again because these cabinets aren't available anymore. So just some idea of the numbers I'm giving you on the design to make sure that those numbers match up with how the layout of the cabinets are. When you come around this corner, at this side of the room, the cabinets come up to this door trim with about a 3-inch margin, 2 3/4 inch margin. On the bottom, it was around 3 inches as well. So the cabinets run for this length of wall is right at 60 inches. It's 60 inches of cabinets. Again, these are 42s, so we're probably looking at 39s with a starter molding. The starter molding will move the cabinet, the crown molding out slightly from the front. It'll give it another 3/4 of an inch, and it'll help hide that paint line that they have up there. Right now, like I said, there's a slight variance in the height. You can see here on this side of the room, you got about 3/4 of an inch. You can see over here, you got about 1/4 of an inch. And over there, you're all the way up against the ceiling, where the ceiling is moving around quite a bit. Be up to the customer whether when we're done, they want to have that caulk to the ceiling. We always recommend about a 3/4 inch step down. We don't have any problems with movement of the ceiling, cracking the crown molding and stuff. Pretty much that's about it for this layout. If you have any other questions for me, give me a call at 423-650-1051. Check out the PNG file that we're sending you. This is a tablet generated drawing. So I want to make sure that you realize that it's a different format than the PDF that we usually send to you. Make sure you get with me to see if that opens correctly. Thanks again. Have a good day.